Let's watch this please.
Kenya ni nchi ya demokrasia. Kenya ni nchi ya amani. Kenya ni nchi ya kufuata sheria. We are a proudly democratic country based on the firm foundation of the rule of law. There is no room for anarchy, chaos, and violence. We are a country that believes in peace, that believes in the rule of law, and everybody's right is protected under the rule of law and under our constitution. Tunaelewana jameni?
So that's the president of the Suffering Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, talking about democracy and the rule of law. You see, this country is ruled by the rule of law up until the rule of law comes knocking at your door. Last year, 18th October 2024, when some individuals within the government's executive and legislature couldn't have the deputy president, Mr. Rigathi Gachagua, for one more minute in office, they quickly circled up and organized a gang, a malicious, rogue, corrupt gang of individuals against the deputy president. They bought off everyone in the House of Assembly and in the Senate, and they all, not all, but the majority of them voted Rigathi Gachagua out of office. This same circle of criminals, in collusion with some members in the executive, went ahead and pushed the Deputy Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu to install a 3-judge bench that eventually determined that Mr. Rigathi ought to forfeit his position. The president himself, who rushingly pushed this whole process through, knew that it was unconstitutional. This is someone who understands the constitution. He has his legal advisors. They know what the constitution says. So they pushed and funded a criminal exercise, okay, a total violation of the constitution, and saw the DP, an elected official, out of office, and funded the installation of a new DP. They spent only God knows how much money to install Kithure Kindiki. You remember the swearing-in process? You remember all the parties in his hometown? Okay? So this government, under the rulership of William Ruto, spent millions, if not hundreds of them, in pushing an illegitimate, a corrupt, a criminal exercise, knowing that it was indeed unconstitutional. Yesterday, the Court of Appeal nullified the decision by the Deputy Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu to install that 3-judge bench that kicked or determined that Gachagua had to leave office. It turns out all that was unconstitutional. So do you mean that these guys don't understand what the constitution says, or what exactly is this thing? This looks like a totally messed up government, and it surely is. So as we speak right now, since the Court of Appeal has overturned the decision by the 3-judge bench that kicked out Mr. Rigathi, now the current deputy president, Kithure Kindiki, is an illegitimate official. He is an illegitimate deputy president. The legitimate deputy president is Mr. Rigathi Gachagua. So this whole exercise was absolute BS, total waste of money. And up until the bench that gonna be instituted or established by the Chief Justice comes out with the clean verdict or determination that Mr. Rigathi legitimately ought to forfeit his position, up until that happens, Mr. Rigathi is still the legitimate deputy president. And whatever is happening in the government right now is absolute criminality. It's absolutely illegitimate. And you see, this guy, Mr. Ruto, always talks about anarchy, and he always talked about anarchy in the context that anarchy can only and always comes from the civilian population. But what the government is doing is absolute anarchy. Lawlessness is anarchy. If these guys can't follow the constitution and they're spending all these monies, can you imagine all this money to sponsor illegitimate and criminal exercise? How different from anarchy is that? And how much more of this should we take going forward? And you see, the president, and everyone knows this, he's been very actively behind the ouster of Mother Koome. He's been pushing that this Chief Justice Mother Koome should be kicked out of office, because right from the word go, she's been very firm in her stances. She's very firm in upholding the principles of transparency, accountability, and honesty, and she won't take manipulation or the pressure that the executive applies on the judiciary to rule according to their directives or to bow to their pressure. She won't take that. She's not taking none of that. And the president can't take that. He's been pushing that she be kicked out of her office, because in anticipation for 2027, he thinks that if this woman remains in this office, he won't stand a chance to manipulate the system and reinstall himself as the president. That's the president that we have, and that's the government that we have, and these are the systems that we are operating in or with. And you, as I said, this is a totally messed up government, a totally messed up democracy. So you shall know them by their fruits, and whatever is done in darkness will surely be brought to light, and the day of reckoning is coming. 2027, I hope God guides us that we do the right thing, elect wisely, and justice be done, because this is absolute violation, absolute abuse, absolute insult to the democracy that we claim that we have. That's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to share, follow, and subscribe.